Hello, folks. You might be saying, Kale, are you running out of ideas for episodes? I mean, you don't have to keep producing these episodes and so frequently. You could take breaks, you know. Yeah, well, the thing is, these ideas just keep coming to my head. And, you might think that the number 0 is not really much to talk about, but you'd be surprised. For a number that means absolutely nothing, there sure is a lot to talk about. Alright, so, we're going to be doing a little bit of math in this episode. Now don't flip your crap, because it's going to get interesting. We're not going to go into anything hard or difficult or anything. We're just going to talk about numbers, which is my specialty. So don't feel like you're in math class or anything. This is not going to be boring. It's going to be pretty interesting. Okay, so take your calculator. If you divide any number by 0, even if it's 0, if you divide it by 0, you get an error. What's this? A math problem that doesn't have an answer? That's not possible. Well, it is. And it makes sense. You see, take the number 6, for example. If we sliced it in half, we would get 2 pieces. We get 2 3s, because, 3 plus 3 equals 2, so that makes sense. So, we're cutting this whole thing in half. Alright, so 6 divided by 1. Well, there's just 1 piece, okay? We're not cutting it at all, so it's all 1 piece, so that's 6 right there. 6 divided by 6, 6 divided by 1 equals 6. Okay, 6 divided by 0. Well, it can't be any more than 6. I mean, and it's not 0 because the 0 times 6 give you 6? No, it gives you 0. So, yeah, there's really not an answer. And scientifically speaking, that is true. There is no real answer. However, though, if you want to go more in depth, we might be able to find some sort of reasonable truth to this question. Okay. Now, this is going to sound random, and I know I say this all the freaking time in these episodes, but it does have to do with what we're talking about. So, say there's a tree, and you have a wooden sword. If you smack the tree with the wooden sword 6 times, it'll break. Not in real life, obviously. This is just an example. But anyways, so, okay, that's 6 divided by 1 equals 6, 6 times, it breaks. If you have a stone sword, if you whack it 3 times, it'll break. So 6 divided by 2 equals 3. Okay. Well, if you're using your fists and you decide to punch the tree, well, that's not going to do any damage. So you can keep punching the tree over and over and over again, and no matter how many times you punch it, it will not break. So, 6 divided by 0 must equal infinity. Now, infinity is not a real number because all numbers have to have a value. It has to have some sort of amount. Even 0 has an amount. Okay, it's 0. Like nothing, but it still equals something. Infinity just equals nothing. It's a non-ending number. So, if there's any sort of reasonable answer, it's infinity. But that's not a real number, so technically, if you divide anything by 0, you get nothing. Okay, well, that may be true. But just to give you a thought, because, nothing can be truly infinite. The only thing that's infinite is the amount of numbers there are. Well, I already made an episode about the afterlife, but once you die, you live forever. Or technically you're not living, but you know what? I already made an episode about this, so forget about it. Now, that was... I got you guys thinking, didn't I? Now let's talk about the score system. Alright, so say somebody gives you an apple pie and they are like, oh, what do you think of the apple pie? On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you score it? 1 to 10. What about 0? Don't forget that number, you assholes. Well, the 0 category is hardly ever, in fact, I don't think it is ever used. There's going to be a lot of people in this world that are going to be like, oh, that movie sucks, 0 out of 10. I don't give a crap how bad you thought the movie was. It is not 0. You got to be more accurate with your scores here. 0 out of 10, okay. Let's talk about each category real quick. So 0 through 5 are considered negative categories. 6 through 10 are considered positive categories. What I mean by that is, if you liked it, it's got to be at least a 6. If you didn't like it, it's got to be a 5.9 or lower. So, let's go to that point. The very middle of the line that separates the positive from the negative. 6 and 5.9 are opposites, because the highest a bad thing can get is 5.9. The lowest a good thing can get is 6. So, we take 5.9 and 6, these numbers, and we each go back by 1. Doop, doop. Okay, 6.1 and 5.8. See what I'm doing here? It's basically, every time we go back both ways. So 6.2, 5.7, 6.3, 5.6. And you keep doing that over and over and over again. Well, once we get to 1, the opposite of that is 10.9. And I don't think anything is 10.9 out of 10 in this world. But if we go further than that, 0.9. Well, the positive equivalent of that would be 11. And 11 out of 10, really? Does anything that good exist? So yeah, I don't think that 0 category is ever used, to be honest. So IGN, your disaster category is non-existent. Non-existent, sorry. Probably should have picked a different word besides just disaster, because when you think of a disaster, you don't think it's pretty bad, but I don't know if it's less than 1 out of 10 or anything, but I'm just blabbering right now. So that was this episode. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.